we took on this project towards the end of 2018. I'd never actually been in the building, but when I came in, it was all flooded, covered in rubble. The staircase had bits of cardboard here and there on it, and it had some damage. What we did was we cardboarded it all, and then to try and protect it. At the time, we hadn't realised its significance to the history of the building. And as we were trying to get rid of some of the false ceilings, work with architects, and work with the council heritage consultant to return it back to its former glory, we went and asked Tata nicely for access to their archives. And a lovely gentleman called Alan Rainsforth helped us with them. He sent us over pictures, he sent us over, and this is where we got the link. This was about a year later, and this was through COVID. He sent us a picture here of the original designs of the building, and all it said was White Star Line in a telegraph form, 24th of March 1890. From that point, I then tried to do more research. So I contacted White Star Line's museum. They went through their microfiche reader, which they keep everything on. And on that microfiche reader, it was absolutely amazing. They found 2 documents that were tied to it. One was the original, we're summarising the original order, and it's got the Staffordshire and Rugeley address from which the Summers family came from, the Stoke area. So it was probably sent to the house. And on that, it's the order and the rates, which is probably where this drawing came into, because that's what it was attached to, which was the original designs to include the staircase. They also found White Star Line from 10th of the 4th, 1902, of it being delivered here. And it was in telegraph form with words missing. And the last bit said, the company's liability transportation is strictly limited, but can protect themselves by insurance. So basically, it's about the transportation of the enclosed contract, which is the paperwork here of the drawings, and then from that, this staircase is a maze. So until that point, we hadn't realised. We knew that opulence and everything was in this building from the tile work and everything, but this staircase was actually pre-Titanic time for White Star Line, so it's absolutely needs to be saved, and a critical bit of the history, the maritime history, the industrial history of not just this area, but more the Mersey Dee Alliance, which, there wasn't borders, there wasn't barriers, boats used to come in along the river here all the time, and that's probably how this was delivered, on a boat to the docks. And then, don't forget, the building wasn't finished till 1907, so it's probably had a lot of time to install it. But when you look at the intricacies here, the gaps aren't quite the same, but nearly there. The curvature of the arrow points and looks like a dragon's tail, because that's what one of the kids said to me, it looks like the end of a dragon's tail. The JSS that is done, John Summers and Son, and now can be reflected on any of these ships that White Star Line. They had the gold leaf writing of WSL on all their ships. So this was probably done as a one-off bespoke. So I couldn't imagine how much it cost, but it stood the decades. Probably the same as the staircase has as everyone goes on in the ship of the Titanic at the bottom of the water, because of the workmanship, the crafts, the wood used, the metalwork done. This will stand the test of time and outland any of us.